My brother thought I was a failure until he realized who had paid his salary. My brother Jake loved reminding everyone at family dinners that he was the successful one. While I sat quiet eating mom's lasagna, he'd talk about his new promotion, his corner office downtown, and how he was finally making real money. Last Thanksgiving, he even brought his fancy girlfriend who kept checking her Rolex and asking when dessert would be served. Meanwhile, I was the family disappointment. 26 years old, still living in a studio apartment, driving a beat-up Honda that leaked oil in every parking lot. When relatives asked what I did for work, I'd mumble something about computer stuff and change the subject. Jake would laugh and shake his head. My little brother still figuring life out, he'd say, like I was 12 instead of 26. Maybe I can get you an interview at my company. They need people to answer phones. I always smiled and nodded, let him think I was broke and desperate. The truth was, I'd been running a software company for 3 years. We built custom apps for businesses, nothing glamorous, but it paid well, really well. I kept my real job secret because I liked the quiet. No family pressure, no questions, no expectations. But then Jake started having problems at work. His girlfriend left him, said he was stressed all the time. He'd call me late at night complaining about his new boss, some tech guy who didn't understand the business, making changes that didn't make sense. Guy's probably 25 and thinks he knows everything, Jake would vent. Wears jeans to board meetings. No respect for how real companies work. I'd listen and make supportive sounds while checking emails from my actual office. Then last week, Jake called me crying. His whole department was getting reorganized. Half his team got fired, and he had to interview for his own job with the new management. He was terrified. They're bringing in some hotshot consultant to decide who stays. He sobbed into the phone. Meeting's tomorrow. I'm probably done. I felt bad for him. I really did. So I decided to help him out. The next evening, Jake called again, but this time he sounded different, confused. Weirdest thing happened today, he said. I walked into the interview expecting some corporate shark, but it was just this kid, younger than me, wearing sneakers and a baseball cap, real casual. I poured myself coffee and waited. But here's the thing. He knew everything about my work, every project I'd touched, every client I'd managed, like he'd been watching me for years. And at the end, he told me I was safe, said I was valuable to the company. Jake paused. Only weird part was, he kept smiling like we'd met before. I took a sip of coffee. That's good news though, right? Yeah, but I can't shake the feeling I know him from somewhere. 2 days later, Jake got an email. Not just keeping his job, but a promotion. Senior account manager, 20% raise, his own assistant. He was over the moon. But yesterday, he figured it out. I saw the consultant's business card on my desk, Jake said when he called. Decided to look up his company online. My stomach dropped. The website has a team page with photos, and there's my baby brother, listed as founder and CEO, wearing the same stupid baseball cap he had on during my interview. Silence stretched between us. How long? He finally asked. 3 years. And you just let me think you were broke? I shrugged, even though he couldn't see it. You never asked what I actually did. You assumed. Another long pause. So when I was complaining about my young boss making changes, you were complaining about my business partner. I hired him to run your office when we bought the company last year. Jake laughed, but it wasn't happy. You own my company? 60% of it. He was quiet for a full minute. Why didn't you fire me? After all the things I said? Because you're my brother, I said. And despite what you think, I don't enjoy watching you fail. I just got tired of apologizing for being successful.